Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Deans and this is Evolutionary Psychiatry on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the neurobiology of sleep. This is the first of a series of videos. The first focused more or less on the science, and after that we'll have talks about tips and tricks in order to help you get the best night's sleep possible. So the first thing you need to know about the neurobiology of sleep is it's a bit of a war between two areas of the brain. One is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and the other is called the pineal gland. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is quite responsive to light. There's a direct link from the optic nerve at the back of your eyeball to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which we'll be calling the SCN. And from there, the light gives the SCN a signal to make a dimer protein. One of these proteins is actually called clock, and that dimer tells your cell and in your brain to basically, hey, it's light, it's morning, be awake. And those cells make another dimer of proteins called purr and cry. And those two proteins, and there's several varieties of them, form this dimer. They go out into the cell, and it's very clever because this dimer was meant to degrade over time, and that time, not surprisingly, is about 12 hours. And once they've degraded, kind of all your wakefulness stuff that goes on in your cells stops going on, and you're ready to settle down for the night. And overnight, without the light signal, you don't get any more signal to make more of these proteins that are these wakefulness proteins. And so that's a bit how the suprachiasmatic nucleus is responsible for keeping you awake all day and for alertness. One thing that we need to understand about the suprachiasmatic nucleus is how it gets the signal from the eye. There are actually specific retina cells in the back of our eye called the intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, and they are responsive to a single kind of nanometer of light at 480 nanometers, which responds to a kind of a bright blue light. And that blue light just sends that signal straight back to the SCN saying, good morning, wake up, it's time to get up. One thing to know about that is that in the modern world, a lot of these beautiful, glorious, white, brilliant lights and beautiful screens that we have on our phones and tablets and TVs and fluorescent lights, they have way more of that 480 nanometer signal than our older yellow incandescent lights. And that can make a big difference when it comes to settling down to sleep at night. Well, that about does it for our first video on the neurobiology of sleep about the suprachiasmatic nucleus and the sun signal that's coming down that keeps you awake and alert. The next video will be about the pineal gland, melatonin, and darkness. If you have any questions, maybe drop me a comment and I'll try to address it in future videos. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. I'm Dr. Emily Deans, and this is Evolutionary Psychiatry on YouTube.